Have you ever wondered, what if our constant search for comfort and safety is actually a trap? What if the easy path is the one that leads to, well, our own undoing? Today, we're diving into one of philosophy's most chilling prophecies. I'm talking about Nietzsche's vision of the last man, and we've got a pretty special guide to take us there. We're going to see it all through the eyes of the prophet Zarathustra's own shadow. All right, so our guide, the shadow, he's taking us somewhere specific. Picture this, a crowded, chaotic marketplace. You can almost smell it, right? Stinking with the breath of the masses. It was right here, in the middle of all that noise, that the prophet Zarathustra gave a warning so powerful it's still ringing in our ears today. And our guy, the shadow, he was right there watching the whole thing go down.
And with those words, boom, a hush falls over the crowd. You gotta understand, Zarathustra isn't just giving a speech here. He's pointing a finger directly at the future. It's like he's casting a spell. He's about to show them exactly what humanity could turn into if we all decide to take the easy way out. Okay, let's get into Zarathustra's chilling prophecy. Now, it's super important you get this right off the bat. Zarathustra's not talking about some fire and brimstone apocalypse. No. He's warning us about something way more insidious, something quieter. He's talking about the twilight of human greatness, the end of ambition, the death of the soul. So what is this vision, really? Well, imagine a future where the world feels tiny. Not because the planet literally shrank, but because our ambitions did. The last man, he's not dreaming of conquering mountains or exploring the stars. Nope. He's just kind of hopping around on his little patch of Earth, making everything small and manageable. Art, goals, life itself, it all gets downsized into something safe, something completely forgettable. In Nietzsche, he pulls no punches here. He uses this just scathing metaphor. He compares the last man to a flea. Seriously, think about it. A flea is tiny, it's almost impossible to eradicate, and it lives for a long, long time. This is Zarathustra's ultimate diss. He's saying, sure, humanity will survive, but as what? As a small, comfortable, and totally insignificant infestation. So now we're on to the happiness of the last man. A life without struggle, a soul without stars. You're probably thinking, okay, what does this life of smallness even look like? And here's the really scary part. It looks comfortable. It even looks happy. Let's dig into what that happiness actually is. This line is just genius. The happiness of the last man? It's not real joy, not elation. It's an invention. It's like engineered contentment. And what do? They blink. It's such a perfect word. They just blink away hardship, blink away deep thoughts, blink away anything that could possibly upset their cozy little world. It's just a passive, thoughtless way to exist. This basically lays out the operating system for the last man's world. And if you look closely, you'll see one common thread running through everything: the complete elimination of struggle. I mean, they abandon any place that's hard to live in. They need their warmth, right? Getting sick or even being suspicious of someone, that's a sin. Why? Because it disrupts comfort. And forget stumbling over things or people. That means taking a risk. Work is just a hobby, and it better not be too hard. And get this, no one wants to be rich or poor, or to rule or be ruled. Why? It's all just too burdensome. The end goal here is a perfectly smooth, totally risk-free life where everybody is comfortably the same. And then there's this line. Man, this might be the most chilling part of the whole thing. This poison, it's a metaphor, right? For all the little distractions, the mindless entertainment we use to just numb ourselves. A little bit here and there, and yeah, you get some pleasant dreams, a nice little escape. But a lifetime of it? Well, that leads to a pleasant, easy death. A death that follows a life that was never really lived at all. Okay, and here it is, the big, terrifying twist. After hearing this absolutely horrifying vision of the future, what do you think the crowd does? They cheer. They actually cheer. They don't hear a warning. They hear a promise. They want this. They want the comfort, the ease. They shout, "Make us into this last man. You can have the Superman." They are literally choosing mediocrity. And right then, our narrator, the shadow, he finally gets it. He sees the true depth of the abyss. So the big question is, why? Why is this vision of the last man so darn tempting? To really get that, we have to turn the camera back onto our narrator, the shadow himself, because he represents the very thing that makes this whole slide into mediocrity possible. There's a philosophical term for this, and it's called passive nihilism.
Basically, it's what happens when all the old values, God is dead and all that, when they die off, but you don't create anything new to take their place. So you're left with this freedom, but it's an empty, aimless freedom. You have no direction, no grand purpose. And that, right there, is the state our narrator, the shadow, is in.
Zarathustra is actually kind of freaked out by his own shadow. Why? Because he looks at him and sees a mirror, a reflection of his own potential to fail. The shadow is that part of him, and let's be honest, it's a part of all of us that could just get tired of the fight. The part that might want to give in to that temptation for an easy, comfortable answer, the life of the last man, instead of doing the hard, painful work of creating something new. But here's the thing, Zarathustra isn't just about doom and gloom. He doesn't just point out the problem, he gives us a solution. He shows us an alternative to this living death, a way out of the abyss. And that is the path of the Übermensch, or as it's often translated, the Overman.
So here it is, the big choice for humanity, laid out plain and simple. On one side, you've got the last man. His values? Comfort, safety, equality. His symbol? The lowly flea. His goal is just a long, pleasant life. That's it. But on the other side, you have the Übermensch. His values? Overcoming, struggle, creation. His goal isn't a long life, it's a great one. And his symbols are the eagle for pride and the serpent for wisdom.
And this is so important. It's not about just letting fate happen to you. This is an active, powerful choice, a declaration of your values. Zarathustra is consciously, deliberately choosing the harder path. He's taking the high-flying ambition of the eagle and mixing it with the street smarts of the serpent. And by doing that, he is utterly rejecting that timid, blinking, comfortable life of the last man.
Okay, so how do you know? How do you know if you're really on this path? Well, Nietzsche gives us the ultimate test. It's a thought experiment he called the heaviest weight. It's the idea of the eternal recurrence.
Just think about this for a second. Really? Could you love your life, all of it, so completely that you would want to live it again? Not just the good parts. I mean everything. The joy, yes, but also every bit of pain, every mistake, every moment of suffering. Could you say yes to repeating that exact life over and over for all eternity? For the last man, that sounds like an absolute nightmare, an unbearable hell. But for the Übermensch, that is the ultimate yes to life.
And that, right there, brings us to Zarathustra's final triumphant roar. He shouts that he is a yay-sayer. He says yes, yes to life, all of it, the whole messy, beautiful, terrible package. And this powerful, creative yes is Nietzsche's ultimate answer. It's the answer to the aimlessness of nihilism, and it's the answer to the comfortable, blinking, living death of the last man. It's a call, really. A call not just to live longer, but to live deeper.